In 2014, Linfield hosted an exhibit from the National Endowment for the Humanities and the American Library Association on Abraham Lincoln, the Constitution, and the Civil War. And in conjunction with the exhibit, we hosted a conference on Lincoln's political thought. And so we had scholars come in from around the country and give lectures on various aspects of Lincoln's political thought. And in the aftermath of that conference, the scholars all agreed to contribute to a book that was based on their lectures, and some people who weren't able to attend the conference also contributed. And the idea there was to get people from a wide variety of ideological perspectives, methodological perspectives, to offer their assessment of the significance of Lincoln's political thought. And so it all culminated in this collection that we called Abraham Lincoln and Liberal Democracy. This book is more geared toward a scholarly audience, although I think Abraham Lincoln is, second only to Jesus in terms of the secondary literature. Lincoln is somebody who has captured the fascination of not only scholars and students, but also just general people interested in American history. So the collection is these are scholarly essays that are about Lincoln's political thought. So the primary audience will primarily be Lincoln scholars and people interested in the political thought of this era. Our broad theme is liberal democracy and how understanding Lincoln can help us, sort of think about big questions about liberal democracy. So our book is broken up into 4 sections. The first is on Lincoln and the idea of democracy, and so we have a great Lincoln scholar named John Burt wrote an essay about early Lincoln, sort of Lincoln as a young statesman thinking about the development of the American Republic. And then a political theorist by the name of Michael Zuckert wrote an essay about the ideas of democracy that are present in Lincoln's second inaugural address. So that's section 1, Lincoln and democracy. Then section 2 is Lincoln and liberty, and an intellectual historian named Dorothy Ross has a wonderful essay about the relationship between ideas of universal human rights and Lincoln's nationalism. And the other essay in that section is one that I wrote about Lincoln and race, and how his understanding of race was related to his attitudes towards slavery and his resistance of the abolitionists, but his commitment to anti-slavery in some form throughout his career. And then we have a section on Lincoln and equality that deals with Lincoln's attitudes toward some of the anti-immigrant politicians of his era. And another essay in that section is on Lincoln's competing loyalties to the idea of equality, but also his deep commitment to staying within what he understood to be his constitutional obligations. And then finally, we have a section on Lincoln and statesmanship, and try to get different perspectives on grappling with Lincoln as a liberal democratic statesman. So we have an essay by Alan Gelzo, who's a very well-known Lincoln scholar, thinking about Lincoln's statesmanship in the context of the Emancipation Proclamation, and then a political theorist named Stephen Smith reflecting on Lincoln's cosmopolitanism and how that influenced his statesmanship.